Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. In this tutorial series, we are designing this portfolio website from scratch using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. In the previous video, we started creating the responsive version of our website. So this is how it look on smaller screens. Now we have designed all the other sections of the responsive version except the hero section. So this is how it will look on a tablet, and now we need to work on this hero section. So let's get started. Now before starting with our responsive hero section, let's make some changes to the desktop version. So here in the desktop version, we can see that the font size seems a bit too large. So let's fix that. Let's go to our CSS and let's go to the nav, and here in the nav, let's set the font size to 1 rem, and I think that looks good. Let's also change the font size of this logo. So right now it is 1.5 rem. Let's change it to 1.125 rem, and I think that looks alright. So now the next thing we will do is even if you scroll down, the nav bar should still be fixed at the top. So for that we need to make some changes to the CSS and the HTML. So first of all, let's go to the HTML, and what we will do is let's go to the nav, and here we can see that the nav is inside a wrapper. Now let's change this into a different class. Let's type nav wrapper, and we will add this nav inside this nav wrapper, and let's end the div over here, and here let's start the wrapper division for the header. Also, now if you go back here, we can see that the nav is inside the nav wrapper and everything else is alright. So let's go back and let's style this nav wrapper. So let's go to style.css file, and here let's type nav wrapper, and let's go ahead and set the position to fixed, and let's set the z index to 100. Let's set the top position to 0 and the left and the right position to 0. And now if you scroll down, we can see that the nav is at the top. Let's also add a background color. So it's the background color, and let's set it to RGBA 0, 0, 0 and 0.7. And let's also add a blur. So let's the backdrop filter, and let's set it to blur 1.125 rem. Right now let's target the nav, and this nav is inside this nav wrapper. So here for the nav, let's add a max width, and let's set the max width to 75 rem, which is the max width of the wrapper as well. And let's bring it to the center. So let's tap margin inline, and let's set it to auto. And let's also add a padding. So let's tap padding, and let's set the padding to 1.125 rem for top and bottom, and 1.5 rem for left and right. So this is how the nav bar looks. So I think that's basically it with the nav bar of the desktop version. Let's go to the nav bar of the smartphone version, and here let's decrease the padding a little bit. So let's scroll down, and let's go to the media query of the smartphone version. So here for the nav, let's go ahead and add a padding of 0.5 rem top and bottom, and 1.5 rem left and right. So this is how it looks. Right now the next thing we will do is we will style the image. So here we can see that when we reduce the width of the browser window, the image cuts off at the right side. So let's fix that. So for that we need to go back to the HTML file, and we need to make some changes over here in our markup. So here inside this hero we have this image overlay and this image. So we need to add both of this inside a container division. Let's give it a class of hero image container, and let's add both of these elements inside this hero image container. Right now let's go ahead and style this hero image container. So here inside the tablet version, let's go ahead and type hero image container, and let's set the position to absolute. Let's set the right position to 0 and the top position to 0, and let's set the width to 100 viewport width, and let's set the height to 100 viewport height. and we'll set the overflow to hidden so that anything outside this hero image container is not visible. And we'll also add pointer events to none so that we are not able to click on the image. So this is how it looks right now. Now let's go to the desktop version and let's see whether we have any problems in this. So the desktop version looks alright, we don't have any issues. So let's go back to the tablet version, and the next thing we will do is we will style the images inside the hero section. So let's tap hero, and we have an image with the class of hero image, and we also have hero image overlay. Now for both of this, we have already added a left value. So if you go to our inspector, here we can see for the hero image, we have set a left value of 25.5 rem. So let's unset this value from here. So let's type left of unset, and let's set the right value to negative, let's try 7 rem, and let's set the height to 100 viewport height and top to 0, and this is how it looks. Now even if we decrease the width of the browser window, we can see that the hero image stays there on the right side. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to bring this image up. So if we go back to our inspector, and if we take a look at our hero image container, we have set a position of absolute, and if you go to the hero, which is the parent division, we have set a position of relative over here. So we need to remove this position relative from here, and we need to set this hero image container relative to the body. So let's remove the hero position relative from here, and we need to change it to static. So let's do that. Let's go back over here, and let's target the hero section, and let's set the position to static. And now we can see that it is on the top. Now let's target the hero overlay image, and if we take a look at it over here in the inspector, here we have the image overlay, and let's change the right value. Let's try right of 0, and this looks alright. So let's go ahead and change the right value of the image overlay. So let's tap hero image overlay, and let's set the right to 0, and this is how it looks. Now let's style this achievements section. So let's tap hero achievements, and let's set the height to 26 rem, and let's set the width to 26 rem as well, and let's set the top to 30 rem, and let's change the font size of these elements. So let's type hero achievements S3, because here we can see we have S3 inside these achievements. So let's set the font size to 1.125 rem, and for all the paragraph, so let's type hero achievements P, let's set the font size to 1 rem, and this is how it looks. And I think that looks alright. So with that, we have styled the hero section of the tablet version. Let's go back to the desktop version, and here it looks alright, and this is how it looks on tablet version. And let's take a look at the other elements, and we don't have any problems over here. So let's go to the smartphone version over here, and this also looks alright. Let's see whether we need to make any other changes. Let's scroll down, and here we have the achievements section, and we can go ahead and set the width to 100% for the achievement section on smartphone version. So let's type width 100%, and that looks alright. So the smartphone version looks alright. Right now, the last thing we will do is we will make this nav menu icon work. So for that, we need to go back to the HTML, and we need to create an element for that. So let's create a div with the class of mobile nav menus, and in that we need to add a close icon, and after that we need to add the menu items. So I think we can copy this menu items from here, and let's paste it over here. Right now, let's get the close icon from heroicons.com. Right here, I'm in heroicons.com, and let's search for close, and let's copy this icon from here. Let's copy the SVG, and let's paste it over here. Right now, let's go back to our CSS, and let's start styling this. So let's go to the top of our media queries, and here let's start adding the elements. So let's tap mobile nav menus, and here let's tap mobile nav menus. Let's set the position to fixed. Let's set the display to grid, and place items to the center. And let's add a background color of var dark color. And let's set the z index to 200 so that it's above the other elements. And let's set the height to 100 viewport height and width to 100%. Right, now let's target the close icon. So let's type mobile nav menus close icon, and let's set the position to fixed. Let's set the width to 36 pixels, and let's set the top to 12 pixels and the right to 24 pixels. And let's set the cursor to pointer. I think the width is a bit too much. Let's change it to 30 pixels. I think that looks alright. Right, now let's target the menu items inside the mobile nav menus. So here we can see we have this menu items division. So let's type mobile nav menus menu items, and let's set the display to flex direction to column, and let's add a gap of 20 pixels. We'll also set the text transform to uppercase. Right, now the next thing we will do is, by default we will set the position of this mobile nav menus to the right side of the screen. So here let's type transform translate X 100%, and let's add a transition of all 500 milliseconds, and let's add a cubic bezier of this value 0.075, 0.82 and 0.165 and 1. And when we want to display it, we will just add an active class. So let's type mobile nav menus dot active, and here we'll just type transform translate X 0. Right, now the last thing we need to do is we need to make this menu icon work. So for that, let's go to the JavaScript file and let's add some JavaScript for that. And here let's type mobile nav menu. And the first thing we need to do is target some of these elements. So we need to target the menu icon, which is over here with this class of menu icon. And then we need to target the close icon, which has a class of close icon. And we also need to target the mobile nav menus because we need to add and remove the active class from this. So let's target those three elements. I'll just type const menu icon equals document.querySelector menu icon, and let's type const close icon equals document.querySelector, and let's type close icon, and then let's type const mobile nav menus equals document.querySelector mobile nav menus. All right, now let's add an event listener to the menu icon. So let's type menu icon dot add event listener, and let's listen for the click event. And here we'll just add the active class to the mobile nav menus. So let's type mobile nav menus dot class list dot add active, and let's target the close icon, and let's type dot add event listener, and let's type click. And here let's go ahead and remove the active class. So let's type mobile nav menus dot class list dot remove active. Right, now let's test whether this works. So let's click on this menu icon, and we have this mobile menu items displayed over here. Let's click on this close icon, and it disappears, and everything is working all right. So with that, we have completed designing the responsive version of our website. Let's go back to the desktop version and let's see whether we have any problems. So everything seems to be all right. Alright, so that's basically it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below. And if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.